Mao Chu, Mao Yang, Mao Yin, Mao Yan Tua, Mao Xian, Mao Hong, Mao Huan.
On New Year's Day, the entrance ceremony is held in the Mao family's ancestral hall. For 6-year-olds in Shoushui village, this will be the most grand ceremony they will have ever experienced. The names of the champion and 26 imperial scholars are proudly read out by the head of the clan.
Up next, we'll read a book written by our ancestors called Encouraging Learning.
Time passes very quickly during our days in school.
The first lesson for children of the Mao clan entails reading Encouraging Learning. The work was written by Mao Ji, the founder of the first school in the village. Elders read to their descendants with the intention of teaching them the value of learning early on, and to ensure that the clan's 1,000-year-old tradition of advocating education will forever live on. During Emperor Xuanzong's reign in the Tang dynasty, a man named Mao Zhong was appointed governor of Hezhou, Guangxi. On his way to Hezhou, he passed through Shoushui. He was so enamored of its beautiful scenery that when he was eventually relieved of his office, he chose to settle down there with his youngest son, Mao Fu, and his family. These are the ancestors of the Han people who now live in Shoushui.
Mao Zhong was the scholar during Emperor Xuanzong's rule.
Oh, he was the first imperial scholar?
Yes.
Mao Zhong was both a Confucian and a firm believer in education. He emphasizes to descendants that studying brings honor. Descendants cannot be successful if they do not first study. Outstanding members are tasked to pass on what they know to descendants. For the Mao family, studying is not only a way of making oneself better, but also a way of ensuring that the family prospers. Descendants have been encouraged to study hard for generations. According to the genealogy of the Mao family, in the southern Song dynasty, a clan member named Mao Ji returned to Shoushui after serving as prefecture chief in Kuaiji. There he built Jiangdong Academy. In the Mao family, regardless of circumstance, it is deemed obligatory for officials to teach in the academy. It was not long before Jiangdong Academy became famous for being a center for learning with strict and intensive instruction that fostered scholarly pursuits.
Since Shoufang's environment was very good, learning here is great. This gave the area a good academic atmosphere. It also helps that the academy had a strong faculty. Students from nearby and other provinces, including Hunan, also came to study here. So with that, this place has prospered.
At a time when there were only 150 villagers, the 4 academies in the village were Jiangdong, Shikuse, Shanshang, and Duijiaishan. It is said that almost every boy went to school. As the importance of education gained ground, so Mao clan members began passing the imperial examinations. From the reign of Emperor Shanzong of Tang to the reign of Emperor Guangxu of Qing, 1 champion, 26 imperial scholars, and 27 first-degree scholars were recorded in the village.
Imperial exams were the only way for lower-class peasants to be able to change their own social standing in order to move up. This opened a route that allowed lower-class citizens to climb the social ladder. It was also a way for scholars to develop their academic skills. A man may have studied and become an official, but he could get complacent as he gets older. If a scholar did not attain official status, then at the very least, he could strive for personal growth.
33rd generation clan member Mao Chi-tang believed that the importance of studying was embodied in the Mao family system of practices. The clan has guidelines concerning the enlistment of teachers, support of education, and subsidization of those who wish to take civil examinations. clansmen who pass the imperial exams are awarded, and those who surpass the rank of imperial scholar are said to gain eternal glory.
The whole village, no matter who it is, would celebrate. They raised a flagpole for each of them. The pedestals are still there to this day, in front of each gate. They mean a lot to the villagers. Whenever we go outside the gatehouse, we are reminded of our ancestors. You see, people who look outside and see them remember the men who they commemorated. I believe that we should learn from them.
There are 26 towering flagpoles proudly displayed for the 26 imperial scholars in Shoshui village. But the greatest glory belongs to champion Mao Tse-che, whose deeds have been engraved and written about by descendants in various forms. Mao Tse-che was born in the 4th year of Emperor Xiaozong of Song. His father Mao Xian was prefecture chief of Changsha. Mao Tse-che was an enthusiastic student with lofty dreams. In the 1st year of Emperor Nanzhong of Song, Mao Tse-che attended the final imperial examination. There he fervently insisted on fighting against the state of Jin for the sake of the country. The emperor was so impressed that he named him champion, gave him sinecure office, and later named him Zhendong Army's chief assistant.
At that time, when Qin state soldiers were invading, Mao Tse-che led troops north to fight. One story said he died, another story says he lived in seclusion after losing in battle.
Champion Mao Tse-che has been immortalized in both his family's genealogy and the Champion Tower at the foot of Mount Shofeng. He is often depicted with a book in hand and has become a model citizen for all in Shoshui to emulate. On the 8th day of the 9th lunar month, Shoshui village holds the Champion Parade to celebrate Mao Tse-che's birthday. This particular Mao ancestor is greatly esteemed, and thus today is a very sacred day for descendants. As the music crescendos and the lion dances, the family elders bring out the effigy of the champion. The parade then proceeds around the 12 gated houses in the village. Offerings are displayed at various stops along the way to express the people's reverence for their champion.
Remembering the champion, we do it in such a way through his several stories and statues, and this celebration has evolved into the culture of the Champion Parade. Merits and scholarly honors of the champion are spoken of in order to inspire clansmen so that they will study hard and contribute to the nation's welfare.
The emphasis on the importance of studying is one of the main reasons the Mao family is so prosperous. Today, the family is in its 39th generation with over 30,000 descendants. More than 2,500 still live in Shoshui village. According to statistics, 253 students from here have gone to college since 1977, including 5 who have gotten their master's degrees and 3 who have gotten their PhDs. Mao Chi-chuen is of the 38th generation of his clan. He holds a master's degree from Northwest A&F University and is an associate professor at Zunyi Medical University. It is New Year's Day, and he has brought his fiancée with him to visit his uncle in his hometown.
We left yesterday at 1.
Yes.
And currently it is about 10 past 2. We've been traveling for nearly 24 hours.
Yes, 1 day and 1 night.
The couple has been on the road for a whole day, having passed through several cities. Mao Chi-chuen is still frugal in spite of his status, a habit he developed as a student. His brother Mao Chi-yong, who teaches in town, has come to pick them up.
This man here's my uncle. Yes, and that's my sister-in-law. Mao Ye, you met her before. Yes, hello. This is Zhao. She's my girlfriend. Yes. Come on, let's go inside.
Mao Ji-chuan is 35 years old and one of 4. He and his two brothers are college graduates. Elder brother Mao Jiyong graduated from Hezhou University, and younger brother Mao Jiping from South Central University for Nationalities. His parents were both farmers. Work was hard to come by, and their combined yearly income was barely enough for the family of 6. Still, his parents never asked their children to give up school.
There's an old saying in the village: descendants will be no better than beasts if their 3 elder generations do not study. It means that if 3 generations neglect their education, as a consequence, their descendants will only know how to act based on sheer impulse. They will not analyze with a rational mind. One can only be moral and sensible after being cultured.
The Mao family believes one should not study merely for merit or honor. It is more important to study in order to become moral and sensible. The family prioritizes education above all else. This stems from the family's belief that educating descendants is a shared responsibility. If any child has problems with school, clansmen must offer to help. In the past, several family elders sewed Mao Chi-chuan cotton-padded clothes and quilts. They gave these to him every winter when he was studying in the county. Mao Chi-chuan knows that if it were not for his relatives and neighbors' help, he and his siblings would never have finished school. He fondly shares what his uncle did for the family when he was growing up.
When it was time to pay for tuition, we just could not afford to pay. Every year, my uncle would give us everything he had saved. He even went as far as to sell off some of his property so that my siblings and I could go to school. He was very supportive while we were growing up.
Mao Chi-chuan's uncle Mao Zhenyu chose not to marry because the family was too poor. When Mao Chi-chuan and his siblings were born, Mao Zhenyu thought that the family had more than enough to worry about and decided to help support the children. He didn't need to get married.
When my brother was in high school, there was a time that my uncle got gallstones. He had to be hospitalized just so they could remove the stones. But given the circumstances, my brother still had to go to him for money because he did not have enough for expenses. My uncle was having a hard time himself, but he still gave my brother 100 yuan. Does your foot still hurt?
Mao Chi-chuan says that he could just as easily ask his uncle as his father for tuition money. His uncle was always happy when the children received high marks. Mao Chi-chuan and his siblings owe a debt of gratitude to their uncle for his selfless love. His brother Mao Jiyong now lives with their uncle and looks after him. Meanwhile, the rest of the siblings send them a monthly stipend for living expenses.
This is where the champion studied, according to legend.
Mao Zedong.
Yes,
It is said that as a little boy, Mao Zedong was already very studious and often retreated to a rocky cave to read. After he was named champion, it was named Rock of the Champion. Poor students often come here to seek motivation and study, and Mao Chi-chuan recalls often coming here as a child to read and play chess.
this is a 1,000-year-old tree.
It is very tall.
It looks very old, doesn't it? When I was young, the tree was too big for us to put our arms around. As many as 12 tried. If 3 of us try now, we can only hug half of it.
It is at the old tree and this old stage that Mao Chi-chuan has the most memories. When a student in Shoshui village is accepted into college, he is awarded a scholarship, and a theatrical troupe is invited to present at this stage. People from neighboring villages all come to watch. Mao Chi-chuan recalls that the drama entitled Third Madam Educates Her Son was most often shown. Meanwhile, Children in Shoshui are most familiar with the stories boring a hole to get light and tying hair to the beam. Children remember their exemplary older brothers and sisters every time there is an opera. Children often play as well as rehearse their own performances at any of the 3 ancient stages in the village. Some children are practicing for a dance. Mao Chi-chuen has taken out his phone to capture every smile and every frown. He deeply cherishes his hometown and moments like these. He will leave soon, but not without first walking through the familiar alleyways and visiting the old house where he grew up. A few years ago, his parents went to live with his brother in the city, so the old house is now abandoned. Still, Mao Chi-chuen stops to pause and quietly reminisce here every time he comes back. Education is of utmost importance in Shoshui village. Similarly, it is tradition to always respect one's teachers. This has been included as the first rule in the Mao family instructions. Descendants must respect teachers before cherishing education. To this day, the teaching profession is the most highly esteemed. 75-year-old Mao Fanjing taught for 41 years. After he retired in the year 2000, he was tasked with running the School for the Elderly.
Go tell them to take classes at the School for the Elderly.
Over 200 elderly people come here to learn calligraphy or read poetry. Mao Fanjing teaches them voluntarily with another senior, Mao Wei-min.
1, 2, 3, 4, like that.
The Xiufang School of Poetry was built in the first year of Emperor Nanzhong of Song. Here, students are taught poems written by the champion and imperial scholars. The median age for students may be 70, but most still look energetic while reading the poems.
Mist covers the sea. And the next one. Waves rush to embrace the rising sun.
In his spare time, Mao Fanjing puts together a team to perform a dragon dance for the elderly. He both performs and directs the music. As the old folks practice, some inevitably argue over a beat or a move. But they fall silent once Mao Fanjing steps in. Both the head of the clan and the oldest clan members hold Mao Fanjing in the highest regard. As one who has been teaching in Shoshui village for many years, Mao Fanjing enjoys special treatment here. In fact, he is always invited to the birthday banquets of anyone over 70.
Every year on the birthday banquet of an elder or during big festivals, the teachers will be invited by the family. This is done to celebrate together. Teachers take the seat of honor. There are tablets of the gods in each hall. Teacher is one such tablet. You see, no matter how old you are or how much seniority you have, teachers must sit on the seat given to them. The tradition of the village is to value education.
Mao Fanjing attends the 80th birthday of Shoshui's oldest secretary, Mao Jianrong. His family has 7 college students across 3 generations. According to custom, the last dish at the banquet is cold chicken cut into 9 pieces. In the olden days, times were hard, and chickens and ducks were a family's main source of income. A bird would thus only be cooked on festivals or if there was a special guest. The family does not begin eating until Mao Fanjing and Mao Jianrong have taken the first bite. People here believe that the chicken's tail is the fattiest and most delicious part of the bird. And so, it is only offered to teachers and to the celebrant.
A teacher's role is to impart professional knowledge. Teaching and resolving doubts are their expertise, which is different from pushing doctrine. Doctrine helps people reach a higher social standing in life. In a traditional society, teachers are meant to guide their students in the hopes that they will learn the value of self-improvement. And this is how they bring their understanding to the next level. The practical knowledge they gain is different from simple academic knowledge. Thus, teachers deserve our utmost respect.
The Mao family's prioritization of education and utmost respect for teachers have produced many talents in Shoushui village. Among the 253 college students from here, 53 chose normal universities and colleges. One of them was Mao Jianhu. In the 1980s, Mao Jianhu graduated from a normal university in Wuzhou. As one of the few normal university graduates, he was assigned to a primary school in town. However, he asked to teach in Shoushui village instead.
During that time, our village was rather short on teachers, and that was a problem. And I remember that in our school, there were maybe around 2 or 3 public teachers. There were few professional teachers from normal universities like me. So I thought it over and believed that they needed me more in the village school. That is why I decided to come back here to teach.
Teachers are scarce, so there is no fixed Chinese or math teacher in Wanchuan Primary School. Second grade head teacher Mao Jianhu teaches 5 classes this year, including math, music, art, and PE. Because students like to sing, he also teaches them a new song every week. There are no instruments in school, so he brings his erhu to class to play while the children sing. Teaching takes up most of Mao Jianhu's time, but he never fails to bring a sense of passion to his class.
You won't win this game if you don't make a joint effort. So you all should work together. You can do it.
Mao Jianhu's love for his work springs from the Mao family principles that one must respect teachers and value education. He decided to teach at the local primary school as a way of giving back to his village. Mao Jianhu was born in 1961. Back then, his parents made barely enough to clothe and feed their 7 children, and yet still managed to send them all to school.
My father used to work during the day, and at dusk he collected firewood. Early the next morning, he would bring the wood to the Hunan markets so he could make a little extra on the side. Every little bit helped. He did all that just so he could pay for our tuition fees.
Each child's tuition cost 2 yuan, a considerable amount for Mao Jianhu's parents. As luck would have it, the hardships would only increase when their house burned down in the summer of 1975.
We had a very big family. Sadly, the house was burned down along with supplies, and you can only imagine how miserable we all were at that time. After that, the family members all had to part ways and live with other families who were living in the village. So we had to live our separate lives from each other, unfortunately, apart. This time actually lasted around 4 or 5 years.
It was with the help of fellow villagers that Mao Jianhu and his family were able to survive. 4 of them went on to pursue degrees. Mao Jianhu, being the eldest, eventually went back to Shoushui to teach.
A man must study and aspire to become a sensible person before he can focus on improving his character. When he does so, this will be displayed in his upright behavior. It is in this way that the clan will prosper.
With hearts of requiting favors, our society will gradually become a harmonious one.
Mao Jianhu discusses gratitude in today's class.
Once my grandma cooked 4 eggs, and I took and ate one. I asked her to take one, and she refused.
Once a week, Mao Jianhu teaches his class about moral values and ideologies. He believes the most important aspect of education is teaching students how to behave themselves. This is the secret to a family's prosperity.
In Mount Ato, there is one champion from family Mount at the foot of Mount Shofang, with a rough of studying at the Yangtze River. Our family tradition is passed on forever. In Mount Ato, there is one champion from family Mount at the foot of Mount Shofang, with a rough of studying at the Yangtze River. Our family tradition is passed on forever. In Mount Ato, there is one champion from family Mount at the foot of Mount Shofang, with a rough of studying at the Yangtze River. Our family tradition is passed on forever.
吹。